the requirement document look like this. So basically there are two types of data we have. The first one is inpatient data and second one is outpatient data. So what is inpatient? So inpatient is nothing but it refers to a patient who is admitted to a hospital or any of the healthcare facilities for treatment that requires at least one overnight stay inside the premises. Okay. And outpatient is nothing but it refers to a patient who receives medical treatment or care without being admitted to the hospital. Okay, so there is a small difference between inpatient and outpatient. Okay, so inpatient means that particular patient is admitted to the hospital in simple terms, and outpatient means that particular patient is not admitted to the hospital. Okay, then basically, there are certain project goals as well for which we have to create a dashboard. So the first goal is we have to track current status of the patient. Second one is we have to analyze historical monthly trend. And the third one is there should be detailed specialty level and age profile analysis in your in our dashboard as well. So the data which we have uh, is from 2018 to 2021. This is the sample data. The data, this particular data I have also obtained from YouTube. There was one video on it, and I have just downloaded the data set. Okay. Now, the metrics required for this particular dashboard are we need average and median waiting list and current total wait list. Okay. And we are going to create two views for this dashboard. The first one is the summary page, and the second one is the detail page for granular analysis. Okay. So this is the requirement. Now, after understanding the requirement, let us connect the data. Okay. So let us minimize this requirement document. And if you open Power BI, okay, so as we all know, there are multiple sources from which we can load the data inside the Power BI. So to see that particular list, you can just click on this Get Data button. Okay. So these are the sources. Now, these are not the only sources from which we can get the data. There are 200 plus sources available on Power BI from which we can load the data. Okay. So today we are going to load the data from one folder. Okay, so that we can update the data continuously. Okay. So I'll select folder from this available option and I'll just click on connect. Now, whenever you're going to obtain data from the folder inside the Power BI, it will ask for the path of the folder. So just click on browse button. Okay. And our data is here, the desktop. So we have two folders, inpatient and outpatient. Okay, so first let us load the inpatient data. Click on that one, click on OK. So now this particular window shows how many files are there. Okay, how many files are there inside the folder. So for each and every year, we have different files. So 2020, sorry, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Now, always remember whenever you're loading the data from the folder, okay, and as our aim is to combine the data consolidatedly, so the number of column in each and every file should be same. Okay, so I have gone through the data thoroughly. You can also go through the data. Just open each and every file and check whether the column headers are same or not, and number of columns should be same in each and every file. Okay, so just click on combine. So when you click on combine, there are two options: combine and transform data, and combine and load data. Okay, so anyway, we are going to transform the data later on. So I'll just click on combine and load data. So this is the data. Okay, it is only based on first 200 rows inside the Excel. Okay, so I'll just click on OK. So if you observe now, our impatient data is loaded without any errors. You can see on the right side, we have impatient data and we have these particular columns inside the data. Similarly, we will load the outpatient data as well. So I'll just click on Move. I'll select folder from here. I'll go to Connect. I'll again browse. It is on desktop, so I'll open it and I'll click on out. I've selected the folder. There are four files, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'll just combine it and load it. And I'll just click on OK. Okay. Now always remember whenever you are loading the folder, it will contain multiple files and each and every file should have same column for combination. Okay. Now our third step is transformation and modeling. So in the previous step, we have loaded the data. Now in the third step, we are going to transform the data. Okay. For transforming the data, you have to just click on this particular button, transform data. So when you click on this particular button, one new window will open, which is nothing but the Power Query Editor. Okay, you can see Power Query Editor. Now on the left side, there will be queries which you have used in this particular project. Okay, so now there are multiple queries. So these queries are just generated because you have loaded the data through the folder. Okay, so you don't have to do anything with that. The last two queries, that is inpatient and outpatient, these queries are generated just because you have combined the data from the folder. First one from the inpatient folder and second one from the outpatient folder. Now, the next thing is if you click on inpatient, you can see this particular data. Okay, so this is complete inpatient data. Now, always remember when you load the data and whenever you are going to transform the data, you have to check the data type of each and every column. So I have already seen the data type of each and every column and it looks fine for me. Okay, after that, the next thing is once the data is loaded, you have to cross check whether complete data is loaded from Excel sheet or not. So that you can do with the help of count rows. Okay, so for inpatient, if you go on this transform data and just click on this count rows, so the total number of rows in your Excel sheet should be equal to this one. And similarly for outpatient, the total number of rows should be equal to this one. Okay. Now, always remember whatever steps you are applying to the data set that is being recorded on the right side. Why it is been recorded? Because whenever you load the data newly or whenever you load new data, so same kind of transformation will be applied to that particular data as well. Okay, so I'll just delete this count rows for inpatient and outpatient. Okay, now the next thing is we have already checked the data type. So data type is nothing but this ABC means this particular column will have text. This calendar means this particular column will have date. This 1, 2, 3 means this particular column will have numeric numbers. Okay. Now, if you observe both the data, inpatient and outpatient, there is a small difference between that one. Is in inpatient data, this particular column is with specialty underscore name, and for outpatient it is just specialty. So what we're going to do is we'll just rename this underscore name for this one. And after the specialty column for outpatient we have adult underscore child, but for inpatient we have directly case child and then adult underscore child. So we need this particular column for outpatient as well. Okay, so how to do that? So after this, what I have observed is in inpatient, we have one additional column, which is case type, but in outpatient, we don't have the case type. So if you observe the values inside the case type, so there are two different values, which are inpatient and day case. So inpatient is nothing but which are hospitalized for more than 1 day, and day cases are nothing but which were hospitalized for 1 day, but they got discharged before 24 hours. Okay. So what we are going to do is now we will add one additional column in outpatient. Okay, so that as our aim is to combine these two particular data and to create one table only. So number of columns for each and every data set should be same. Okay, so we will add one more column. So I'll just go on add column from here. I'll add custom column in outpatient data. Okay, so the name of the custom column will be case underscore type. Okay, and simply I'll put the values as outpatient, and I'll just click on OK. And I'll drag this particular case type on the same position, which is after specialty name. Okay. Now, if you observe, the inpatient have 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. Actually, 9 columns only. And outpatient have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 columns. So the system. Now let us start our append process. So to append our data, append means nothing but we will join these two particular table, and with the use of these two particular table, we are going to create one new table which will have complete data of inpatient and outpatient. Okay. So to append this, we have to just click on home. Okay, to append this, we have to just click on home, and you can find the option this append queries here. So here two options are there, append queries and append queries as new. So if you select the first option, what it will do, it will directly join outpatient data to inpatient data. Okay, but I don't want this because I want to create a new table. Okay, so I'll just select append queries as new. So after that, if you have two tables, you can select the first option. But if you have more than two tables, you can select this option. Now, our first table will be inpatient. Our second table will be outpatient. And if I click on OK, so append one is the table now. Okay, so this particular table with the name append one contains all the data, complete data of inpatient, complete data of outpatient. What I'll do, I'll just rename this with the name all data and the system. So we are done with the transformation. We will move ahead with the fourth step now. Okay, so there are multiple ways of doing transformation. You can follow any ways. So what I'll do, I'll just go on home and click on close and apply. So now we can move with our visuals. See, our data is getting loaded again, and we have all data here. So in our third step, along with the transformation, we have modeling as well. So what is modeling? So if you see your left side, so it has four options right now. The first option is report view. So this particular is nothing but a report view. The second option is table view. You can see our all data table, which we have created with the use of append. And the third one is the model view. So basically, see, inpatient data, we don't need as of now. So what we will do, we'll just hide it from our report view. Okay. And similarly, outpatient also we don't need because after combining these two particular data set, we have created our all data. Okay. So I'll also hide it from the report view. Now the next thing is I have one more data. Okay, so in the file, so I'll just select Excel workbook. Okay. I'll go to desktop. I'll select this one, and if I'll select, so I have one file for specialty. So I'll just open that particular file as well. So basically what I have did, we have one column, right? Specialty name, specialty underscore name. So I have just created bucketization for that one. So all specialty related to the blood, I have kept blood as in specialty group. So like this, because there are numerous specialty, I have just created a bucket for those one. Now, just one small mistake is there. It is not considering our first row as a header. So for that, we will just click on transform data. Okay. And if you just click on this particular drop down, there will be one option which says that use first row as a header. I'll just select this one. So now our table has a header with specialty and a specialty group in it. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just close and apply. And if you go on model view now, so it has directly created, it has directly connected our all data table with specialty mapping. Okay. So you can see that specialty name is connected with the specialty column inside the mapping table or specialty table, you can say. And there is one more connection, this one, which we don't need, so we can delete this. Okay, and this is one to many, many to one connection. Okay, so this is done. So our modeling is done. As our data is pretty simple now, so there is no any complex modeling. So basically, what we did till now is we have loaded our inpatient data, we have loaded our outpatient data, then we have combined these two data and we have created our all data. Now as there are multiple specialty names, so for that we have just created a groups. Okay, and with the help of one more CSV file, we have just connected these two data together. Okay, so now let us begin to create our visuals. So now let us start creating our visuals. So whenever you're creating any Power BI report, so make sure that just click on this view and your grid line and snap to grid. These two options are enabled. Why these two options are very important? Because it will make your alignment of your visuals very, you can align your visuals very easily with the help of these two options. Okay. So the first thing for creating a Power BI report is to decide the visuals. What type of visuals you are going to create. Okay, so first I'm going to create card visual, okay, which will show total number of cases. So what we can do, we need only total number of values for that one. So what I'll do, I'll just source name to the field, okay, and inside this I'll use count. So it will count how many values are there inside this particular column. So these are nothing but the total number of cases. Okay, so let let us format this particular visual. So this count of source dot name is nothing but category label. We don't need it. Okay, we'll enable the title, and the title will be total cases. See, here title is visible. Now after that, we'll make the title bold, and let us take this particular color for title. We can increase the size of that one. Could decrease the size. Okay, and the alignment of the title, let us make it align it as in center. Now this is looking good, right? Now this particular number is nothing but call out value. So let us make the call out value as blank and select the same color for that as well. Now the third uh, thing which you can do for your visual is, see, there is no border for this particular visual, right? So you can create a border, you can create rounded corners so that it will look good. So how to do that? Just select your visual, go to format your visual option, click on general, go to effect, and then just enable this visual border, select the same color as text. A rounded corner, you can keep it as 15, and you can enable the shadow as well. And the color of the shadow, you can decide like this. And if you observe, it is looking good. So we are going to use the same format for our other visual as well. Now our second visual, so let us keep some space for giving the title of the dashboard. Okay. Now the second visual will also be a card visual, which will show total inpatient cases. Okay. So for that also we are going to use same field, but we are going to apply the filter. So for filter, see, if you want to apply the filter on home page, you have to drag the values here. If you want to apply the filter on specific visual, you have to drag the values here. So I want to apply the filter. I'll just drag. Now, as we want to apply, show total cases, inpatient only. So we will just select the inpatient data. So these are the total cases for inpatient. And we can just edit the title now. Correct. This is done. Now let us create one more visual for outpatient. So same visual, but instead of this inpatient, we will select outpatient data only. And we will change the title. This is done. Now, what will be our next thing? We need to give one slicer to select date range so that we have to give one functionality to select the date so that the data, whatever the dashboard, whatever data is shown on the dashboard, it will be in between these two specific dates. So for show giving that functionality, we will select slicer from here and we will drag this archive field here. Okay. So whatever data is present on our dashboard right now is in between these two particular date ranges. So I'll just drag it here like this. Let's copy this format from here to here so that it will also look good. Now the next thing is again we need a slicer for specialty. Okay. So we have three type of case type. Okay, so the first one is day case, the second one is inpatient, and third one is outpatient, which we have already discussed in the same video. Right. So what I'll do, I'll okay, first let us format this one. So slides header, we'll make it as bold. We'll select the same color. Shadow is already there. So the next thing is I'll again select one more slicer. And inside that we'll drag case type. We'll just format it. We don't want like this checkbox form. We want like a drop down. So I'll select drop down. So we have option. We can select any one of the options from that one. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the format. I'll paste the format and it will look good. Okay. We need one more slicer for showing this specialty. Okay, so instead of case type now, we need specialty. So I'll just drag it. So we have specialty. So yeah, now let's say we don't want blank here. So what to do? We will just apply the filter, we'll select the visual. We'll just drag specialty name here and we'll select all, but we'll remove blank. It will work. Now, these things are done. Now, let us say we want to show total number of patients by in a donut chart with case type. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just select donut chart from here and just increase the size. So the legend will be our case type based on count of source name. We can show this particular information. So total cases, what will be our title for this particular chart? It will be total cases by case type. So we have three different type of cases. So let us format. So first let us directly paste the format. So title is there. Let us change the title. Total cases by case types. Now the next thing is we can show the same data, okay, with we can show total cases by specialty as well. So for that, let us select the bar chart. Let us select the clustered bar chart. So on y-axis, let's say we want to show specialty name. Select all, will remove blank. On x-axis, we want to show the count of source name. Just copy the format, we'll paste it here. It is looking good, but we will just format it in a good way. So we need data labels. We need grid line. Instead of dotted, we need solid grid lines. Okay, and one more thing which we can do is just go to general, go to visual. So y-axis will make it bold. Select test color like this. And for title, instead of auto, we'll keep specialty. Make it bold. We'll change the color according. We'll change the color accordingly. Now the graph is looking good. And we'll just change the title of this particular graph. Okay, so go to general, go open the title. So the title now will be total cases by specialty, and now it is looking good. Or else, there was one more thing which we can do is we have specialty groups, right? So we can use that as well for showing total cases like this. So let's say on y-axis we want to show count, but on x-axis we want to show specialty group like this. So this data will also be useful. Just change the title like this. So general will have 36557 count like that one. And the next thing which we can show is each profile. Okay. So for that, I'll take a pie chart only. I'll just directly copy the format, paste it. Okay, so legend, I'll paste it as like this. And I'll drag source name for values. So based on each profile, we have like this. With the system. So this will be our healthcare analysis data, which will be useful for any hospital. So let us put a title for here, title for this particular dashboard. So our title will be, we just insert the text box. Let us increase the size. So instead of 10, let us use 20. Make it bold. Let us center line this. And one more thing which we can do is you can change the font. Okay, so our dashboard is completed. You can see. So what details our dashboard is showing. Okay, let us discuss what we have created till now. So the first thing is we got these two tables, inpatient and outpatient. Okay, so we have loaded the data from the folder. There were four different files for inpatient, four different files for outpatient. Okay, after loading the data, what we have done, we have combined the data. Okay, we have transformed the data, combined the data with the help of append queries. Okay, and we have created one more table with all data. Then the next thing was after loading the data and transformation the data, we started creating our visuals for the healthcare analysis for hospital. Okay. Now the next thing is the first thing we shown total cases. So total cases is nothing but the count of rows. Then we show total inpatient cases and total outpatient cases. So we have card visual for that one. Now the next thing is we have shown the comparison of total cases by case type and we have shown comparison of total cases by age group. So we'll just change the title here. Okay. Then the next thing which we have shown is total cases by specialty. So we have numerous amount of specialty in our hospital. Okay, so if you just write down, so these were the cases. So most of the cases were for general surgery, then orthopedics and gynecology like this. Okay, and we have just loaded one more table which creates bucketization for these specialties. Okay, so we have shown total cases with respect to each and every bucket. So it is totally dynamic. Okay, so if you just select the date range, you can see you will be able to see the difference. How? So let's say I'm changing the date, so our data will get changed continuously like this. Now, if you select outpatient, inpatient like this, so it will change the data accordingly. So it is really good. Okay. Now we have one more functionality with specialty name. So you can select any of this specialty and according to that, our data will get changed. So this was it for today. Okay, I hope you have liked the video. I hope you have learned how to create card visuals, how to create pie chart, how to create donut chart, how to create bar charts and all. Thank you for joining with me in this video. Thank you.